You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Queenie? What's up, Star? What's up, King Tom Tom? MV, what up, man? Thank y'all for joining the chat room. We about to talk some shit. We about to talk that real shit. We about to talk why these awards ain't shit. You feel me? My question is this. I'm gonna get into it. But before I even get deep into this, I got a question. How can a group of white folks properly award black art and black creativity? We're going to start off with that question and then try to answer it as this broadcast goes along. How can a group of white folks award black people in anything we do creatively when they can't do it themselves? I ain't talking about a few individuals here, a few individuals there. I mean as a collective. Can they really be trusted to accurately reward an art they have no clue on how to create? Or if they did create the sport like a basketball or a football, do you trust them with also handing out the awards when the people they're rewarding, they can't do that shit themselves? You know what I'm talking about? We're going to get into talking about this. We are going to get into talking about this. But before I get into it, I need you to go to the website and pick up your t-shirts, your coffee mugs, your hoodies. Got a lot of dope shit for sale up over there. Go ahead and get it yourself. You feel me? So yeah, we gonna cook and get right on into that in 1 second. Let me go ahead and answer my Let me go ahead and answer the door real quick. I got one of my tenants hitting me up. Guess they fucked up one of their units. Give me about 20, 30, 45 seconds and we gonna get all the way into it.
1981.
I'm back. I've been waiting on that damn tenant to get back. We should have took care of this shit 3 or 4 o'clock. That's what I meant to come to y'all live, but I'm over here waiting on these damn tenants. And as soon as I get started, ding, 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 ringing the doorbell. What kind of shit is that? Yeah. What's up, Tasha? You right, circulate. Well, if I am about, no, because these tenants be on some bullshit sometime, man. Like, look, I take care of my buildings. But it's like some of them, when you take care, they always want, it's like some of these motherfuckers is just needy. Like, why you keep calling me, man? I'm not gay. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. Pay your rent. If something is broke, we'll get it fixed. Outside of that, I don't want to talk to none of these motherfuckers. I spend all day talking between my clients and at my company, working with my kids, working with the adults. You know, then I come here, I talk a little bit of shit. I go on Craig Facts, talk some shit. I'm getting crack jokes at night. You know what I mean? When I'm not entertaining people, I don't want to talk to nobody but my wife. I talk to her. Even her shit. After a while, like, all right, I got to go out to the man cave and smoke a joint. I need to be quiet. I am drinking my wine right now. It's cold the motherfucker out here. This wine keeping a nigga warm. What's up, Adrian Taylor? For one thing that I don't get, hey man, I don't get why some of these, I don't get why some of y'all fat jokes are just horrible. If I don't highlight the joke up here, if it's funny, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Oh, that shit was funny. If I don't do that, your joke sucked. Come on, man. Fat jokes are the lowest bar. Fat jokes, fucked, bad teeth, bad breath. Black jokes, fat jokes, bad, like, those jokes right there, you have no excuse to miss on those jokes. Because they're just so easy, they're just low hanging. Some of the other stuff I'll give you a pass for, but like a good, like, joke on a crispy motherfucker, that's easy. Man, easy. And somehow you niggas still fail. God damn. Well, anyway, we are here to talk about these meaningless awards. Why am I bringing this up? Every year we go through the same thing during award season. You got people saying who got snuffed, who got the award but didn't deserve it. You know, we always see the the most untalented white person win the most awards, and whatever black person the white folks got pushed that they're pushing, whatever official person they're trying to credential up in order to give them credibility amongst us. And it's not all white and black, because like I said, you have certain people who are black, but if they get the awards because they're the face of our music, like Beyonce. I don't have any issues with Beyonce, but how does she have 28 Grammys but not one classic song that people outside of her fan base fuck with? Now, I'm not speaking to the Beehive, the Bayhive. I call it Bayhive. B-E-Y is Bay, goddammit. Bayhive. If you wanted to be the Beehive, you should have labeled yourself B-E-E or B-E. But since you put the Y on it, it's the Bayhive. You don't get to change the rules because your favorite person is named that. It's the Bayhive. If you were more, B-E-Y is Bay, goddammit. So if it's B-E-Y H-I-V-E, that means it's the Bayhive. 28. How many awards does Gladys Knight have? I mean, during her prime, back in the 70s.
1981.
She won some stuff. So they gave her some stuff in the early 2000s in gospel. But how many Grammys does Shaka Khan have? Denise Williams, The Emotions, Minnie Riperton. You mean tell me Beyonce got more Grammys than all of these legends combined? Get the fuck out of here. See I remember one thing they do. One of my issues. I'm gonna kind of jump around all over the place with this broadcast, but it's all gonna tie in. I remember back in the early 2000s when Beyonce was making her name as a solo artist, they constantly had her in the same category as Jill Scott, as Ledisi, Erykah Badu, when they perform completely different styles of music. Beyonce's a pop artist. She ain't soul. What the fuck is she doing in the same category as Jill Scott is what I'm trying to say. I'll tell you how. Because these damn Grammys, these white awards, they minimize the categories for black artists while having dozens and dozens and dozens of categories for art or genres of music that black people generally don't play. I got another question. How is it that black people literally invented every style of music? American black people, born and raised, United States Foundation of Black American People, innovated every single style of music represented at the Grammys, but only qualify for a handful of the award sections. These are just questions that I have. How does Jay-Z have more Grammys than Michael Jackson? How the fuck does Taylor Swift have so many damn Grammys? Like, for real. Taylor Swift ain't made nothing original but got all the Grammys. How does Adele have 15 Grammys? Adele? Huh? Adele sings a dumbed down version of soul. I mean completely dumbed down. I mean completely stripped, dumbed down, vanilla, regular, bland, cheese pizza, yogurt with no fruit or strawberries in it version of R&B. But the bitch got 15 awards. Are you fucking serious? We gotta ask it, like, as a people, when do we just totally withdraw any and all support from the Grammys? Not just the Grammys, the Oscars, the NBA MVP, the college football Heisman Trophy, NFL MVP, college basketball player of the year, Emmy, MTV award. Hell, even the Soul Train awards ain't shit. And this ain't nothing new. Like I saw some people saying, man, the Grammys ain't been nothing in 10 years. Look, when were the Grammys ever anything? Is my question. Look back at the Grammys won for like Song of the Year and ask yourself, whether it be Song of the Year, Album of the Year, ask yourself how many of those awards, of any of those records, how many of those records are still timeless and sound good today? Ask yourself. Just go back in history. Look at past Album of the Year winners. Taylor Swift, Fearless. Who the fuck is listening to that now? That shit only 2 or 3 years old. They don't award the best music. These awards are a circle jerk of whose team, whose management, who are the people pulling the strings, what's their relationship to the people who vote on these awards. They don't give a fuck about talent. And I see black people all the time, man, this person should have won an award and not that one. And for what? Like, why do we keep getting in these arguments over who's won which? What? I come from the point of view, from the mindset of you. I come from the point of view of, I'm gonna say it straight out, white people, and I'm saying it, white folks can't accurately judge us and assess what we do. How? How? me what is their qualifications for telling us anything about music. How can a group of people who never created anything be the authority over what we do? Yeah, sure, made a good point. Like Michael Jackson deserved his, Whitney deserved hers, Stevie Wonder. But let's think about this shit for a second. Let's put this in perspective. Beyonce has 28 Grammys. Marvin Gaye has one. And he got that one Grammy from, in my opinion, I love Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye's one of my favorites. But he got that Grammy on one of his weakest songs, Sexual Healing. They gave him a Grammy, then his ass ended up dead. He ended up dead later on that year. They gave him a Grammy for Sexual Healing. Marvin Gaye didn't get a Grammy for What's Going On. He didn't get a Grammy for any of those hits. I mean, Marvin Gaye had album after album. Marvin didn't win an album. He didn't win not Nair Award for the I Want You album. Not Nair Award on the Let's Get It On album. These songs are still being played today. Nothing that he did with Tammy Terrell got a Grammy. Nothing that he did with Kim Weston or Diana Ross. But Adele has 15 in the same fucking category as Marvin Gaye? Al Green, no Grammys. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, none. None for the Spinners, none for the Ozzy Brothers. How does Eminem have Grammys, but Snoop Dogg has 0? Huh? How's that possible? Blue carpet treatment didn't get an out and air Grammy? Doggy Style? The Dog Father? The Last Meal? I think I'm losing control, and I don't even know. Girl, you hurt me oh so bad. Man, I love that Last Meal album. Shit, that's my shit. Trying to stack a dollar by my collar while I'm singing my song. You bitches better leave me alone. Leave me alone. Come on, man. We got 76 likes, 149 people in here. Smash that like button and share. Earth and Fire never won Album of the Year. Spirit? That's the way of the world? What? All in all? I'm telling you right now, if you want to get your head right, get your mind right, shit, listen to some Earth and Fire. Come on now, the I Am album by Earth and Fire. All in all, be ever wonderful. Come on, man. Shit was made before I was born and I still bump it. I don't personally see any value in these awards. I personally think the way they award these people, they low-key telling us not to give a fuck. Because they don't give a fuck. They give no fucks about the sanctity of these awards. They don't give no fucks about the meanings of these awards. They'll tell you, they show you that every year. Macklemore won Hip Hop Album of the Year over Kendrick Lamar. Over To Pimp a Butterfly. No different than NBA MVP. The best player never wins. I can't say never. The best player very rarely wins the MVP of the NBA. Very, very, very rare. Shaq dominated the league from 97 to 04. One MVP. Kobe dominated the league from 01 till about 2011. One MVP. That let me know right there the MVP don't mean shit. Especially in 06 when Steve Nash won over Kobe. Kobe averaged 35 points a game. Steve Nash led an already really good team to the playoffs. Team that was good before he got there. And he wins it. Like for the NBA MVP award is basically whatever foreign-born player can stick on the court and look halfway decent against the foundational Black American Negroes out there is the person that's MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo won 2 damn MVPs and can't make a 14-foot jump shot. How the fuck? This year, before the season started, they were trying to call Luka the MVP before the season even started. Meanwhile, you got Chris Paul taking the Thunder to the playoffs. Now he about to take Phoenix to the playoffs. He not even mentioned. It's like the black players got to do 3 times as much to be awarded the MVP as a foreign-born player does. Same thing with that damn Heisman Trophy in college football. Whatever white quarterback had a dope season with an already great team with a great defense. If it's a great team with a great defense and a great system, and he's white and he's a quarterback, he's going to win the award, period. NFL MVP, same shit. LeBron, because like when it comes to black Americans, they always have their chosen Negroes. There's always chosen Negroes that get preferential treatment over the West. Because one thing about America doesn't like, they can't tell you there are 10 great black people at this. Since we're so great at what we do, they'll choose one, act as if that one is just the greatest thing of all time, and ignore the rest. They'll put that one foundational black American that they chose to be the leader. And basically the argument between that one foundational black American and all these other foreign black people, or if they're not foreign black, foreign whatever else. That's why LeBron gets so many considerations for MVP. They're trying to call LeBron the MVP until Anthony Davis got hurt. Then you saw LeBron wasn't shit when it came to no goddamn MVP. I'm a Laker fan. Hell, I saw how the Lakers looked with LeBron when LeBron came by himself. LeBron wasn't shit. nigga LeBron would get his stats and then quit. Nigga have 27 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. Beginning of the fourth quarter, Lakers down 2. Then you start passing the ball. Losing games. Because in the fourth quarter, teams were able to sag off the help because Lakers didn't have a good team. And double LeBron, and LeBron couldn't do shit against a double team. Meanwhile, you got cats like Kevin Durant and James Harden slicing and dicing double and triple teams like nothing. All they can do is talk about what those players don't do. This nigga LeBron, for the last decade, has gotten literally the best power forward in the game. At the time, they were the best power forward, Chris Bosh. Before that, people forget Antoine Jameson was an all-star the year before he went to Cleveland. Kevin Love, now Anthony Davis. He gets once-in-a-lifetime talents like Dwayne Wade and Kyrie Irving. Great shooting. All the components any superstar needs to win. And this nigga still come up short. But y'all want to tell me he the MVP? Get the fuck out of here. And no, I'm not mad at Kevin Durant for super stacking his team. Do I like stacked teams? No, I don't like stacked teams. But if the quote-unquote so-called best player in the league gets to stack his team, why can't? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? If LeBron's really that great, why are people so threatened when someone else stacks their team? And for any man using the word hate when I'm making a point that's backed with accurate observation, I look at like a hoe. Because grown men should be able to listen to information. And if they disagree with the information, go at the information being discussed. Not saying, oh, you're just hating. Oh, you're just hating. Oh, LeBron. Oh, I went to sleep with my LeBron stuffing doll. I kiss LeBron's picture on his on my LeBron calendar before I go to bed every night. Oh, you're just hating. Oh, you're just hating. Nigga, if you can't point out the lie, that mean I ain't hating. Hating means making up shit. Now, if I'm out here making up something, if I was pulling something out of my ass and saying, hey, if I was saying, you know, I don't like this person, I want them to go to hell, I don't like, that's hating. But having a point of view, using what actually happened in real life as evidence and backing up my point of view, that's not hate. That's expressing one's self. One thing I do want to get rid of, one thing I'm very clear about, one thing about me, I don't give a fuck about being popular. Being popular doesn't mean anything to me. I like fucking with a certain kind of people, you dig? The kind of people, whether I agree or disagree with them, they can express themselves fully without using emotional terms like hate. I don't really jive with that too well. And it got a goddamn thing to do with hate. If someone disagrees with me and says they have a reason for disagreeing, and the reason is sound, and that reasoning is backed up with evidence, whether I agree with the evidence or not, if I don't have anything to combat the evidence that they have, then they just got their opinion. Or I got something to combat it. They have their opinion. I have my opinion. And then we talk it out. And then after we done chewing the fat, fucking around, we go about our separate ways. That's fine. But when you take someone saying, okay, this is what happened, this is my opinion, and this is why, and the why is backed up with the truth, whether you agree with it or not, if the why is backed up with no lies, why are you calling it hate, grown man? I don't play that shit. That's not welcome in my environment. This is an environment of thinkers. This is an environment of thinkers. And if you disagree with someone else's thought, then you just disagree with their thought. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. Like people will be always like, well, we just agree to disagree. No, I don't agree to disagree. I got my opinion, you got yours. We gotta agree on shit. I respect other people's points of view, as long as that point of view is backed up with sound logic. Whether I agree or disagree. I'm never gonna say, man, you just hating. No, that's weak as hell. That's weak. That's some shit we gotta fix within male society. Oh, he's just hating. Oh my God. LeBron's a good father. Oh, Jay-Z, he's just, I don't care what you say. He's still the greatest rapper. Well, what about all them lines that he stole? I don't care. You're just hating. Nigga, you sound like I'll take that answer from a 7-year-old. I'll take the answer from a 10-year-old. But by the time you get 14, 15, it's about time to start. You gotta go a little deeper than that. I don't even let my look, even the children that I've mentored over the years, all of my clients, I don't allow my 16-year-olds to say that around me. Hey, that's real talk, Shahar. Another bullshit mentality born from that Puff Daddy reign. You're right about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Shahar. That was another thing when it comes to music and awards. That whole bad boy era brought in a lot. I used to call that, even back in 97, 98, I used to call bad boy to me was always fuck boy music. You had niggas living in apartments talking about money ain't a thing. It don't get more fuck boy than that. Nigga, your credit's bad. You live in an apartment with roommates. Nigga, how you got roommates talking about holla back money ain't a thing? That whole bad boy kicked off that. See, bad boy started the fuck boy shit. Jay-Z took it to another level in the early 2000s. But the bad boy era started that fuck shit. It's all about the Benjamins taking beats, saying a whole bunch of fuckboy irresponsible nonsense. That song, ever since Biggie came out with Player Haters on what's that, Life After Death album? Player Haters. Look, when Biggie was talking about player haters, you feel me? He was talking about the fellas who actually had something going for themselves. And those who didn't have anything going for themselves, doing things to steal from those who had something going for themselves. He wasn't talking about people expressing their opinions. God damn. Bad Boy wasn't shit. Like they always want to point towards the West Coast and talk about what gangster music was doing with Death Row. And I have my issues with Death Row because look, I'm born and raised here in LA. I'll never forget. I remember being in middle school, going into high school, because Tupac was with Digital Underground. Wasn't nobody on no banging nothing back in the early 90s, late 80s. Then the Chronic hit, Snoop. And that got some people on the banging tip. But when Tupac went to death row, man, that's where you had all these niggas with 2-parent households, living in good neighborhoods, trying to be gangster. You had all these niggas that wanted to be gangster. I remember when Tupac went to death row. It just, you had cats that used to like dress regular in the 7th and 8th grade, talk normal. They come back in the 9th grade like, nigga, when you start sagging? So don't get me wrong, I definitely have my issues with the whole gangster side of things with death row. But on that bad boy side, oh man, all that shit. And look at this motherfucker. Diddy shooting, threw his man Shine under the bus, got him sent to prison. Bad Boy had Carl Thomas and didn't know what the fuck to do with him. How you have that one dope ass album and don't you ever notice that shit? Bad Boy never really followed nobody else's stuff up. They'd had that one album with a whole bunch of sampled music and couldn't really follow it up. They brought in all that Flash and Dash and that Pretty Boy music. You had niggas with gap teeth thinking they was pretty boys when Bad Boy dropped. Which takes me back to these awards. First off, I don't really, it's kind of, when it comes to awards, if the awards aren't funded by us, if they're not done for us by us, I don't deal with them. And don't tell me BET Awards. BET is owned by Viacom. Those are black faces, but they do not make the decisions at BET. See, Mary J didn't make it because she wasn't on Bad Boy. Remember, Mary J was Def Jam. Oh, you're right, boss. J-Lo left Diddy after that shooting too. That shit was funny. Bad Boy did not usher in the sound. Stop it. No, Bad Boy did not usher in the sound. Bad Boy sampled proven already won sounds that already won. Hypnotized was Rise by Herb Alpert. Doom 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 doom. That's Herb Alpert. They didn't even the Bad Boy sound didn't even have the. They didn't even look. Them motherfuckers didn't even take the sound and at least when Dr. Dre sampled something, he would take in some P-Funk, mix it up, whoopty whammy, and give it back to you to where you hear the sound, you hear the sample, you hear the loop, but it's something new and it's his own thing. Bad Boy said, "Fuck that shit. We just gonna take this. We gonna take this bar. We ain't gonna change the key. We ain't gonna change the tempo. We're just gonna take this bar and loop it, and let Mace rap over top of this shit, and then Diddy gonna dance." That was the Bad Boy sound. Do not conflate that with an original sound. James Brown came with an original sound. There are very few people who came with an original sound. No, they're not paying homage. Michael Jackson paid homage to James Brown with Michael Jackson's version of funk. But it wasn't James Brown. It wasn't James Brown. James Brown came with the one. He came and he brought into something that had never been done before in music. Well, in recorded music. He changed the direction of music. And I got a question. How many damn Grammys does James Brown have while we talking about it? How many Grammys does James Brown have? Because if you listen to it, James Brown, when we listen to R&B today, pop music today is all based in funk. Pop music is unfunky funk. That's all it is. Whether you're talking about Bruno Mars, whether you're talking about the underbelly of hip hop, that's funk. That's funk. Funk. That's why y'all see look. Y'all see this underlay right here? That's why my show Incense and Ashtrays is coming. That's why I'm bringing Incense and Ashtrays. Y'all see that? I got the Incense and Ashtrays logo down there. That's coming to y'all real soon. But as a matter of fact, if you click on in the information box in my in the description, you'll see my link tree. And on my link tree, I already have my first interview with Bobby Rush on. Original blues guitarist Bobby Rush. I already have that interview up. I'm waiting for Spotify to give me my clearance and Apple. I'm waiting for those two to give me my clearance and those will be up too. But yeah, no. The story of music got to be told, and it got to be told right, and it got to be told by us as black people. Because this is our shit. I'm not going to wait on Ken Burns or some white boy to fuck up our music history. I'm doing this shit. James Brown was funk. Michael Jackson. The reason why Michael Jackson was so great, because Michael Jackson was funk first. Listen to that Billie Jean bass line. Nigga, that's Louis Johnson from the Brothers Johnson playing bass. That's funk. Tom Ford arranging the horns. Tom Ford was the person that arranged Earth, Wind & Fire's horns. That's funk. Michael Jackson had George Duke, Joe Sample on the keyboards. That's funk. Greg Fillinganes. That's funk. But Michael Jackson's funk was so funky, everybody liked it. So what they had to do was, they couldn't label him the king of rock and roll. That's the one thing about white folks. White folks ain't gonna knock their heroes off a pedestal for no black person. So they created a whole new category called pop. And the reason why no pop artist has been able to do what Michael Jackson has done is because they're trying to approach pop music from a pop point of view and not a funk point of view. Pop is just crossover funk, but you gotta be funky first. And one thing about the funk, you cannot fake the funk. I'm telling you right now, as a drummer, you cannot fake funk. If you say Michael Jackson ain't funk, then you don't know funk. So you need to stop talking in the chat room and listen. If you don't think Michael Jackson was funk, stop typing and listen. You're not worth interacting with. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. No, I'm not going to make a song called That's Funk. Funk is a feeling. It's not a song. It's not a word. Funk is like when you cooking up gumbo. You know, like in gumbo, you have a roux, and that roux is what sets the flavor for the pot of gumbo. That's what funk is to popular music. It's the roux. Because in funk, not only are you on the one, but you also have space. Funk leaves space for improvisation while sticking tightly to a structure. Listen to the Off the Wall album. That's funk. Thriller. Bad. That's funk. I'm all with, like Lil Wayne said, fuck the Grammys. I'm starting to see every year you're getting more and more black artists that are saying no to the Grammys. And that's a good thing. Because what the fuck is a Grammy if the creators of all forms of American music say it's meaningless? Then what value does a Grammy have? Hell yeah, Off the Wall was funky as hell. Nigga. Off the Wall? Nigga, that shit was so goddamn funky. What? When you talk about don't stop till you get enough, don't. First of all, what's the components of funk? Funk is a genre of music that you land on the one and the bass is the lead. Generally, in a lot of funk, the bass is out front. In other forms of music, the bass kind of sits back in the back. And in funk, sometimes the bass sits in the back, sometimes in funk. But when you have that bass out front as the lead over everything else, that's a telltale sign you're dealing with funk. How does Don't Stop Till You Get Enough start? Don't. Then they come in, woo, one. When all the musicians come in together at one, boom, that's fuck, nigga. Working day and night, that's funk. I Can't Help It. I Can't Help It started out as a Latin song. When Stevie Wonder wrote I Can't Help It, it had more of a Latin island feel, more of a Caribbean feel. But then Greg Fillinganes came up with that doom, 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 doom. And Greg Fillinganes turned that shit into funk. Black folks, you better learn your music and your music history. If you don't know your music and your music history, you gonna allow these motherfuckers to tell you anything. And then our generation is gonna end up the exact same way previous generations did, thinking black folks didn't invent anything new. And everything new is white. No, that's our shit. Yeah, disco's foundations are funk. Disco's Foundations of Funk. The first disco song credited as disco was Barry White's Love Unlimited Orchestra Love's Theme. Hell yeah, the Jackson's 5 out last few albums are nothing but funky. Man, when you listen, man, shit. Hell yeah. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. You hear that bass line from that song by the Jackson 5? You standing over there, dun dun, dancing all over the place, dun dun. That's funk like a motherfucker. Come on, man. Circulate Wealth wants to know, what's my funk Mount Rushmore? That's going to be on the t-shirt pretty soon. That's actually getting designed right now by my t-shirt guy. I should have that for you in about a week or two. You're going to see my Mount Funk more. My Mount Funk more. James Brown. Bootsy Collins. George Clinton. And I don't know if I'm going to go with Sly from Sly and the Family Stone. Or if I'll go with, the fourth one is hard. Do I go with Sly Stone? Do I go with Larry Graham? Do I go with any one of the Ohio players? Sugarfoot, Diamond, Satch, Merv. That's a hard one for my fourth one. But Bootsy, George, and James Brown are definitely 3. I don't know who's going to be number 4 yet. See, black people, we gotta define this shit for ourselves. These awards can't define our music. They can't even categorize our music properly. As a group, we have to totally divest from their opinions on our shit. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, Rick James would be a good one to put on Mount Funk more. Charlie P. That's a good one. I might have to put Rick James up there. Ooh. That's a good one. Rick James? Yeah. And let's be clear. Artists go in and out of these genres. They aren't all one thing. Not all of Michael Jackson played music in other genres. I'm just talking about the base of his genius was in funk. Roy Ayers wasn't funk, but he had funky music. He had See, back then in the 70s, cool. That's why I said the 70s was the greatest era of music. You kind of dabbled around in a little bit of all of it. You wasn't just one thing. And everybody had their own sound. Unique. They weren't stealing shit. They weren't trying to sound like nobody else. Roy Ayers is the godfather of neo soul. But that song, Turn Me On. Won't you come home? That's funky as hell. Turn me on. Oh, won't you come home? Woo! That's my shit. Earth and Fire. They dabbled in and out. That song Saturday Night on the Spirit album, that was funk. But then you also had Be Ever Wonderful. You can't really categorize Earth and Fire into one genre. Earth and Fire was their own school of music. That was their own genre. Earth and Fire were their own genre. They did Earth and Fire was just great. You can't really pigeonhole them into one genre. Well, and the same thing with Parliament. The same thing with Parliament Funkadelic. You couldn't Because not only did Parliament Funkadelic expand funk the way they did, they not only did they expand the James Brown sound and funk, Parliament Funkadelic also are your thought leaders of heavy metal. Yeah, people forget that Funkadelic was a rock band before they got to funk. Go back and listen to that early Funkadelic, 1973. Go back and listen to The Maggot Brain, Charlie, go back and listen to Funkadelic. Who Says a Funk Band Can't Rock, which was actually written by Sly Stone. I'm saying, why am I bringing up all these different artists on a subject talking about meaningless awards? Because for a lot of times, a lot of people, this is their first time hearing someone think this way, that a group can't just be one thing. A little bit of it all. Go back and listen to that early Funkadelic. You want to hear some heavy metal? Go back and listen to one of my favorite songs from Funkadelic. It's a song called, it's on the Let's Take It to the Stage album. A song called No Head, No Backstage Pass. You can't tell me that ain't metal. Shit. Goddamn. Get off your ass and jam. Shit. Goddamn. Get off your ass and jam. Come on, man. Like this shit. Share this shit. Subscribe to this shit. And check out my interview with Bobby Rush in my Mixcloud. In the Mixcloud. I will be having playlists coming soon to Spotify. If y'all want to know more about these genres and how they, because I get people on Instagram all the time hit me up, asking me to do some what music they should listen to when they want to get into certain genres. I'm about to create different playlists for all that shit. Not only I'm already creating it, I just haven't put it out public yet. I'm curating these playlists. I'm gonna have a playlist for y'all for 70s soul, but one just for soul music, one for funk, and one for contemporary adult sounds. Yeah, Cameo, Confunction, Slave, Zap, Tower Power War. Those are all my bands. Nigga, Rolls Royce. Fucking. See, yeah, man. We gotta take. Black people, we have to take ownership of our music back, because through knowledge of history of our music also lies knowledge of history of our people. Because the music provides a soundtrack to the times. And if you go back and listen to what those artists were saying when they wrote these different hits, when all this was going on, you'll get a reflection of the times and what people were going through. And what these artists were going through was reflective of what Black society as a whole is going through. So again, how can outside people give us awards on our music that's reflective of what we're going through as a people when they don't have a music that they created from scratch? Now, they can take what we created and make some music that's personal to them and what they're going through. They can do that. But they can't create it. So if they can't create it, why do we give them the power to award our shit? That's something we as a people give. That's not them taking. That's us giving it. Because we know the crackers going to try to take shit. When do they not steal shit? They steal shit from each other. That's how they get down. We can expect them to try to steal our shit and change the narrative. We can literally expect that. The one thing we can control is the energy we give it. That's why I don't even watch the Grammys. I don't even spend time figuring out who got snubbed, who won, and who should have won instead. I stopped that shit. Well, back in the 90s. I think the last time I even watched the Grammys was the last time Michael Jackson performed on them motherfuckers. That was probably the last time I even watched. She said Beyonce's a known witch. I will tell you this. Me understanding ritual and ceremony, I'll tell you this. A lot of Beyonce's videos, a lot of her performance are ritualistic, especially that Super Bowl performance. One thing I will give Beyonce credit for. Beyonce understands ritual. And so does Jay-Z. They both understand ritual. And I'm going to leave it at that because when you get into ritual, that's over a lot of people's heads. And so I don't even want to get into all that. That's something I encourage people to study for themselves. Study ritual and study what we're saying about that for yourself. I ain't going to tell you what to think. That's something you got to figure out. But how is it that Beyonce's daughter, how does Beyonce's daughter have more Grammys than the Stylistics? Let me tell you something about the Stylistics. There's no Hall & Oates without the Stylistics. There's no Bee Gees without the Stylistics. To me, overall, the Philadelphia sound don't get enough credit at all. Because let me just be honest. I love Motown. Motown is one of my favorite sounds ever. But Motown was no greater than Philadelphia. They were no greater than Stax. They were no greater than the LA sound. Motown was one of the greats. The difference between Motown and the Philly sound and the rest of those is Motown did a great job of documenting its own story. Motown told its own story. Motown created its own narrative and controlled its own narrative. That's why Motown still lives today through the memories of all of us. Because I don't know about y'all, but I remember growing up in the 80s, it seemed like every year there was like a new Motown special on TV. You had Motown 25, where Michael Jackson did his moonwalk. You had Motown Anniversary at the Apollo. You had Motown 30. You had Motown did his own documentaries of the Four Tops, Martha and the Vandellas, The Temptations, Holland Dozier Holland. Motown created its own documentaries. Philadelphia didn't do that. Stax didn't do that. They created music, but they didn't create a narrative. And therein lies the difference between the popularity of sounds. You can't tell me Motown's better than Philadelphia with what Gambling Huff had going on. Them niggas had Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, the Stylistics, the Jacksons. I mean, you can go down the list of what the Philly sound is. There is no such thing as music without the Philly sound. I'm not here to put one over the other. I'm here to say that all of it's great. Well, when it comes to our music, all of our music is great. And their music is good too on its own level. I'm not saying all white music is bad. I fucking love the Bee Gees. Nobody gets too much heaven and Man, that's my shit. Man, eat some mushrooms, smoke some weed, and listen to Too Much Heaven by the Bee Gees. Man, shit, come on, man. You don't get much better than that. It's as high as a mountain and harder to climb. I love that shit. The Spinners. The Isley Brothers. Come on, man. Yeah, Motown, Stevie and Marvin. That's great. I'm not going to call Motown. Motown wasn't popcorn either because their music, if Motown was popcorn, their music still wouldn't be getting played today. Popcorn music has a 1 year shelf life, a couple years shelf life, and it's done. You don't hear the Bee Gees, not the Bee Gees, the Beatles. Now the Beatles, that was some popcorn music. Ain't nobody fucking listening to the Beatles anymore. Ain't nobody listening to the Beatles anymore. Motown did have a lot of fluffy stuff, but Motown wasn't fluff. Motown was the real deal. But so was Stax. I'm not here to lower anyone else's sound. They were all great. Sylvia Robinson was a shit. You heard about that? See what you right? Shane said DC had Chuck Brown and Marvin Gaye. See, I like Chuck Brown. I give Chuck Brown credit for what he did, but this is a personal thing. I do not like go-go music, and I'm not shitting on go-go. If you like go-go, fine to you. I'm not gonna demean it. I'm not gonna talk down to it. I'm just gonna say, other than doing the butt, go-go is probably one of my least favorite forms of black music. That song doing the butt, sexy. Now that was some go-go for your ass. EU. Chuck Brown did, as far as go, Chuck Brown was the innovator of go-go, and it was some dope shit, but I look at go-go the same way I look at Chicago style house music. I don't like that house shit. Fuck house music. I do not fuck with house music at all. But for those who do, I'm not gonna shit on it. I don't fuck with go-go and I don't fuck with house. Nope. Man. Leave, man. 4 on the floor is cool, but not that goddamn long. No, I do not like the instrumentation of go-go. Those same, that's black instrumentation. Like that instrumentation could be found in across genres. Go-go's too easy for me. I remember I played the drums for this go-go band one time, and I never rehearsed with them. I just played. And I played live. And I played every song the way it should have been played without ever hearing any one of the songs. Because the minute I got the tempo, I knew what to do because go-go was so predictable. As a drummer, I was like, okay. Accent here, fill there. And make sure my foot pedal's active. Because people who like go-go love an active foot pedal. Go-go just was too boring for me as a drummer to play. Oh, RSM say, how do I feel about New Orleans music? That's nothing. I don't want to shit on New Orleans music because it's still great. I love anything with live instrumentation for the most part, but I don't like New Orleans music either. As a matter of fact, I like go-go more than I like New Orleans sound. I don't like New Orleans jazz. Big ups to Louis Armstrong, but no, I don't like New Orleans jazz. I don't like Zydeco. I don't like the Hot Boys. I don't like Lil Wayne. I don't like New Orleans hip hop. Like New Orleans jazz got a fucking washboard. I hate the washboard. Somebody got a spoon in a washboard. Fuck out of here. That shit annoys me. I hate the accordion. The accordion reminds me of Steve Urkel. And that whole boppy pop sound of that New Orleans, that whole doom 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 doom. I'm good. I fucks with New Orleans second line music when I'm on Bourbon Street, drinking a Call a Cab. No, Call a Cab is Miami. Call a Cab is what's that place on? Wet Willie's on Ocean Drive. That's Call a Cab. What's the shit in New Orleans? Hand grenades. I ain't been in New Orleans in a while. If I'm drinking a hand grenade on Bourbon Street and I'm loaded, I fucks with New Orleans music then. That second line music sounds great when you seeing women flash their titties and throw beads for titties. I'm all for second line music then. But if I ain't on Bourbon Street or on Canal Street, I don't fuck with New Orleans music. I love the Ohio sound. Ohio was another one that doesn't get its credit. Because Ohio really are, like, when it comes to funk, even when it comes to West Coast hip hop, a lot of that comes from Ohio. Bootsy Collins, Zapp. Yeah. The Ohio Players. Jive Turkey. Give me a string, jive turkey, whoa, whoa. But y'all gonna like my Incense and Ashtray series coming, y'all. First, like I said, check out that Bobby Rush interview. I tried to interview Kim Weston over the weekend. We just kept missing each other, so I'm gonna try to get back around and interview her. But I also got some more artists from back in the 70s and 80s that I'm be interviewing about their music and about recording music at the time. Because music is my heart and soul. Did someone say I'm not bout it? Nigga, did you just come out of 1994? 1999, nigga? Bout it. I ain't heard that shit. I ain't heard nobody say bout it since... God damn. When the last time I heard somebody say bout it? Last time I heard somebody say you ain't bout it was when Next Friday was out. Not even Friday after next. I'm talking about next Friday. When we first met Day Day. That was the last time I heard bout it. Did somebody say Dwan ain't bout it in the chat? That's funny as hell. Bout it. I ain't heard that shit in 20 years. Bout it. What's next? You gonna call me a jive sucker? You just a jive sucker. You don't know what you talking about. Can you dig it? Bout it. I ain't heard that shit in so goddamn long. You're at 97, 96? Yeah, like black people, we got a lot of dope shit. We gotta start really appreciating our shit. Part of the reason why I'm having this discussion is I'm looking at some of the comments in the chat room. It's a lot of competition. Like, one thing we gotta stop as a people is we gotta stop this cutting down our own heroes and having this cutting contest, having this shitting on other black people who do great things in support of other black people while leaving them motherfuckers all out of it, all alone. Like, you'll see, one thing I'm tired of seeing is you'll see people going around talking about some Prince. Niggas will argue all day, Prince or Michael Jackson or Prince. I'ma take Michael Jackson because of this. I'ma take Prince because of that. Stop it, niggas, please. Stop it. Michael Jackson and Prince had two extremely, totally different approaches to music. The way they approached music was completely different. The end result was completely different. If you're gonna compare Prince to somebody, compare him to other. If the bar is, well, Prince wrote and produced and played every song, well then compare him to Roger Troutman and Stevie Wonder then, because Roger Troutman and Stevie Wonder did the same shit. Those are the ones who did that. Michael Jackson had a sound, had a pocket, had a feel. He had a lot of the intangible things you can't measure in his music. Him, James Brown. Sammy Davis Jr. They're all in the same. Michael Jackson, James Brown, Sammy Davis Jr. They're more in a line with each other, just like you have Roger Troutman, Prince, and Stevie Wonder. Two opposing approaches to music. Don't tell me Prince can't be compared to anyone. That means you don't know music well enough. Prince is great. I love Prince. He's great. But his guitar riffs are muddy waters. See, you got to understand, in order to understand Prince on the guitar and everything, you got to understand Jimmy, and you got to understand Muddy Waters. You got to understand Muddy to understand Prince. And if you're impressed by what Prince did, look at Stevie Wonder. Because if we're going to talk about an artist that played everything and did everything, it's kind of hard to reach Stevie's level. But we don't need to argue over that because they're all great and they all black. We don't need to argue over them. We need to appreciate both sounds, all sounds. No, Sammy Davis is a factor. Stop all that bullshit, just because. No, Sammy Davis gets his love and respect. Sammy Davis has been an entertainer since a nigga was like 4. Sammy Davis was on stage from the age of 4. He was a better drummer than you. And that's nothing people talk about Prince. Sammy Davis was a great actor. He was a great tap dancer. He was a great singer. He was a great regular dancer. He was a great drummer. Sammy Davis Jr. could play damn near all instruments and play them well. You better give Sammy Davis his respect. He came up doing Jim Crow. He chose to go with his Jewish heritage and approach Jim Crow the way. We don't know what it's like to walk up to an arena, perform, then have to walk out through the kitchen. We don't know that. So, given the life that Sammy Davis Jr. had to live, I'm not going to judge him. He didn't have the options that we have today. Better give Sammy Davis Jr. his respect. Barry White was that guy. Barry White is another person we have to give credit to. Like they always talking shit about what happened to black music. Y'all stop signing niggas like Barry White. Barry White was a gangster from L.A. Born in Houston, moved to L.A., raised in L.A., South Park area. My dad used to run across Barry White. And Barry White used to steal hubcaps off Cadillacs. Barry White used to carry a pistol to the studio. Talk about gangster. Fuck up that note and watch Barry White pull a gun out on your ass. But at the same time, Barry White, when he put that string section together, it sounded like, when you listen to a Barry White song, you feel like you need to put on a tuxedo to go to one of his concerts. But we got to get into the point of appreciating ourselves, appreciating our music. And through appreciating what we create, through appreciating our music, that alone renders these awards irrelevant. It makes the Grammys irrelevant. What does a Grammy mean? What does this little small piece of tin mean if you know who you are and what you create? Huh? Isaac Hayes is another one. Isaac Hayes was another one. Isaac Hayes came in with those grand old 20-minute long songs. Walk on by. Man, listen to Isaac Hayes, hyperbolic systematic. Isaac Hayes has an album called Hot Buttered Soul. It don't get more cold than that. I don't care what you say. Hot Buttered Soul is the greatest album name for a soul record ever created. Hot Buttered Soul? We ain't got time to argue amongst our music and our greats. Appreciate one for the next. If I want to hear some dynamic music that's funky with a good guitar riff, man, I'm going to listen to Prince. If I want my vibration elevated, I'm going to listen to Frankie Beverly and Maze. I'm going to listen to Michael Jackson, Earth, and Fire. Michael Jackson, when you go back and listen to Michael Jackson gave a lot of game in his music. Michael Jackson, especially when you listen to the later Michael Jackson, like in Dangerous and like in the last album that he did, Invincible and Bad, Michael Jackson gave us a lot of game metaphysically on life. Michael Jackson told you if you want to change the world, you have to start with the man in the mirror. The key to changing the world is changing yourself. That's what Michael Jackson told us, and tell me if that ain't true. Michael Jackson, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. Another part of me, Michael Jackson was telling you on that song, Another Part of Me, the keys to life. He's letting everyone know that when you look at someone else, when you look at your brother, your sister, you're looking at another part of yourself. The planets are lining up. We're bringing brighter days. They're all alive, waiting for you. You are just another part of me. Michael Jackson was telling you, for everything you admire about Michael Jackson, you were part of that too. Question is, did you get the message, or are you spending all your goddamn time arguing who was better, Prince or Michael Jackson? You see where I'm going with this? Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire took us back to the sounds of Kemet, to the sounds of Moorish Spain. Earth, Wind, and Fire also gives you the keys to life. If you want to look inside and get some life gain, you listen to Earth, Wind and Fire. Serpentine Fire. That's a song about the awakening of the Kundalini. Metaphysically. Getaway on the Spirit album. That's a song about transcendental meditation. Song Spirit. Charles Stepney had died during the making of the Spirit album. Charles Stepney arranged a lot of those horns after Tom Ford left Earth, Wind and Fire. He was the person that Maurice White went and talked to and consulted with. He died, so they had that song Spirit, talking about the ancestral realm. Go back and listen to this shit. Go back and listen to that song, All About Love from Earth, Wind and Fire. Talking to you about loving yourself, dealing with your inner world and your outer world. Devotion. Love is law. Man, listen to Frankie Beverly and Maze. You can't turn on Frankie Beverly and Maze and not feel good on the inside. But you're not going to get this shit if you spend it all goddamn day arguing over who was better. The only question is, nigga, did you get the message? Ooh, man, I love me some Stephanie Mills, American Negro. See, the 80s was that time when music was, if you want some power singing, you better go back to the 80s. Vesta, Patti LaBelle, Stephanie Mills, Whitney Houston. You can go down the line. Shirley Murdoch. Them women took you to church with that singing back in the 80s. Betty Wright. Yep. My whole point of this broadcast is, as long as we are arguing over these bullshit ass meaningless awards that don't mean anything, guess what? You don't get the message. Music is a message conveyed over a sound. The whole point of music is to input something in you, to give you a message that goes directly to your subconscious. Because remember, 90% of brain activity is the subconscious, the unconscious. Music has the ability to filter past the 10% of consciousness, the consciousness that we see, and go directly to our subconscious. Because fact is, your subconscious is getting the message regardless, whether you choose to or not. Whether you choose to take it in or heed to it, your subconscious, I guarantee you, go look it up in the book, is getting the message. So when you're talking about the music that you love, talk about it from the standpoint of what you got out of it. How it healed you, how it helped you, how it changed you. Because different music is going to hit different people differently. That's the discussion. Hell yeah, the Jones Girls and the Emotions. I'll tell you right now, look. I don't know what heaven, I've never been to heaven. But if heaven has a sound, it's the Emotions singing 3-part harmony, in my opinion, for me. Some of you niggas like Macy Gray's voice. Some of you niggas think Rihanna can actually sing. But for me, the sound of heaven is the Emotions singing 3-part harmony. That's the sound of heaven to me. I love Denise Williams. So we gotta remember, people. Layla Hathaway, I love her too. I love Anita Baker. Millie Jackson, yep. Those some people. Angela Winbush. Yeah. Look at all these names y'all pointing out in the chat room. Do we really have time to argue over who was better? Or honestly, look, let's just get real, people. Can you take an award serious if Adele got 15 of them things and the ladies you're mentioning in the chat room have a combined total of less than what she got? Y'all naming some heavy hitters here in the chat room. And you can put all of them together and they have less Grammy Awards than Adele. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Adele sound like a man transitioning to a woman when she sings. If you don't get that husky ass boring voice out of here. And what pissed me off a lot was back in 2014 when Adele won a lot of them awards. Jill Scott released 2 albums that year. Both of them albums was fire. The Hidden Beach unreleased recordings and the other album. I forgot the name of the album. Let me look it up. What's the name of the other album? Jill Scott released 2 albums that year. All dope music. Woman. That's the name of the album. That was 2015. No, 2011. 2011. She released the Hidden Beach unreleased and also the Light of the Sun album. Man, that Light of the Sun album was so dope from Jill Scott. But all people could talk about was the white girl Adele. You listen to Adele's that album that Adele released that year, ain't none of that music shit. Now. But that Jill Scott Light of the Sun album, that shit's gonna be dope for 40, 50 more years. Oh man, Midnight Queen mentioned Randy Crawford. Hell yeah, Randy Crawford was the shit. Mary Wells? Rachel, for real? Sade, man, look. We got so much dopeness in our music. One award can't really do it for all of the shit that we got popping as a people. We got a lot going for us as a people. And we minimize what we have going for us when we have these bullshit ass arguments over awards and who's your top 5. Jill Scott. I love me some Erykah Badu. You're right, Sylvester. Raheem Devon should have gotten more credit than Robin Thicke. Music Soul Child. That's a nigga that don't get enough credit. Especially his first 3 albums. I like a lot of his stuff, but especially Music's first 3 albums. Man, them first Soul Star. That first album, the one with Mary, How Could You Go? Man, shit. That shit's gonna be fired 40, 60, 70 years from now. The I Just Want to Sing album came out 20 years ago. Still fire. T. Clay mentioned Eddie Hazel. Stop it, T. Clay. What you know about Eddie Hazel? What you know about Eddie Hazel on the guitar, T. Clay? What's up, Paxton in the chat room? That's my man, Brandon Paxson. That's my nigga right there. Shouts out to B-Pax 007. He started comedy with all of us back in the day. Good to see you around, Paxton. Paxton, my man Brandon Paxton looked like a brand new mannequin. Fresh out the box. He like he about to put in 20 hard years of service at the Broadway. Salute to you, B-Pax. I'm bringing this up for a reason, people, because the children hear our conversation as adults. And when we think they're not listening, they're listening. So, and they often don't hear what you say. They hear their interpretation of it. So when you're arguing, man, Michael Jackson to kill Prince. Prince to kill Michael Jackson. To a child that doesn't have a reference of either one, you're automatically making them choose. You're automatically subconsciously making them, having them think in a way that's shitting on other black talent. Our children have to appreciate us all. Because the black children don't get enough. The mainstream society ain't gonna give black people credit for shit. We know that. So we gotta give them credit. But here's the thing, we can give credit without shitting on the next. I love Raphael, Sadiq, and D'Angelo. But yeah, of course they sound like Prince a little bit. That's what happens when people, that's nothing we gotta stop shitting, because it didn't start, the Prince sound didn't start with Prince. Prince sounded like people before him too. Especially when you go to early Prince. That early Prince, I wanna be your lover. That beat, that groove, that's Rick James. That's all Rick, that feel to I Want to Be a Lover is all Rick James. Again, when I was talking about his guitar, Prince's guitar, especially early on, that's all Muddy Waters. Imitation is the first step of originality. When people are inspired, the first step of inspiration is imitation. And then people grow out of that and grow into their own sounds. I'm not going to shit on D'Angelo and Raphael Sadiq for sounding like Prince when I know Prince sounded like Rick James and Muddy Waters before him. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the whole truth. I fucks with Lonnie Liston Smith. If you want some mellow music, Miss African Roots, that Lonnie Liston, some dope ass music. Just like Bootsy, I love Bootsy Collins. I love Bootsy's my favorite, one of my favorite of all times. But Bootsy got his swag from Hendrix. Hendrix got a lot of his sound from Muddy, from Bo Diddley, from Ike Turner. We gotta appreciate our shit, black people. Oh man, Ivor mentioned Johnny Guitar Watson. I love Johnny Guitar Watson. That's a cold motherfucker right there that don't get his credit, Johnny Guitar Watson. When it comes to Eric Clapton and all these motherfuckers, they took from Johnny Guitar Watson. Hell, when you look at Too Short's album, Too Short's style, even Too Short said itself, Too Short took a lot of his style from Johnny Guitar Watson. And Johnny Guitar Watson, I don't know how he recorded his music, but if you listen to Johnny Guitar Watson in the 70s, his music, the sound quality was at a much higher rate than anybody else. Listen to any song from 1978, then listen to a Johnny Guitar Watson track right after that. And listen to the music quality. I want to know how Johnny Guitar Watson recorded his music, because his sound was on another level. Sister Rosetta Tharpe, you're right, Derrick Henry. On that guitar, she was dope. People keep pointing out Prince, and I don't mean this. Look, I'm not here to shit on Prince or to minimize Prince. Prince was a genius. Prince was great, but Prince was one of many. Like, y'all gotta go back, man. No, it didn't. The shit didn't start with Prince. Prince came late in a line of a long line of people who did the same thing at just as high of a level for their time. I can't say Prince was a bigger star than Sammy Davis Jr. in his prime. They were on the same level in their primes. And most of these great black artists had many elements. Most of them did. The Commodores, yep. Commodores, another great band. Book Dog mentioned Ernie Isley. Yep, Ernie Isley. Ernie Isley was there. Hendrix, him and Ernie Isley. Oh, and Eddie Hazel. They all in that same group. Sly and the Family Stone don't get enough credit. Sly and the Family Stone was the first band to have white, black men and women. Cynthia on the trumpet. I forgot the brother's name on the drums, but he's a white boy on the drums. I forgot his name. Out of San Francisco. Larry Graham on bass. Larry Graham invented slap bass. Magnetic said Prince is a little different. How is Prince different? How is Prince different than Stevie Wonder, than Sammy Davis Jr.? And Count Basie? How? Prince was one of the greats. Prince was at the top of his era as one of the greats. But black people, our music is so deep. It goes so long. It's so expanded. It's so wide. You got to make something up to put somebody that far. No, not one of these people are that far ahead of the others. Good point, Ali Hemmett. You would only think of Prince if you did not know of the artists prior to Prince. Great point. Great point. Look, a lot of these people played many instruments, man. Bootsy Collins, do you know that was Bootsy Collins on the drums for Not Just Knee Deep? Bootsy Collins played the drums, the bass, the lead guitar, the keyboard. Stop it. That's like, I'm a musician, like, I'm not here to minimize or shit or anything. Like, musicians playing every instrument, like, look, man, that's far more common than you think. Roger Troutman used to play every instrument, and he would have all the instruments laid out before the rest of the band got there with Zap. Did y'all know that? Not only was Roger Troutman responsible for the heavy-handed funk style that would eventually evolve into hip-hop, he played every instrument while doing it. Again, we don't need to look, man. We have a lot of dopeness. How many times I gotta keep saying that? Sun Ra was dope too. Sun Ra was dope. Come on, EMJ, that's cold. Prince was different because he was more feminine. That's cold, EMJ. I ain't gonna repeat that. Yeah, Roger Troutman came in with a whole sound. All this auto-tune shit. See, Roger Troutman didn't have auto-tune. That nigga had to sing through a straw. And that straw, you had to belt out them notes and really sing. You couldn't sing no bullshit and then that straw auto-tune it for you. No, you had to really sing that motherfucker. Man, musicians playing. But here's one dope thing about Prince, more so than other guys. One reason why you guys know all these factoids and things about Prince, what he was able to do, and the reason why a lot of you guys think it's unique, because Prince was smart enough to tell his own story. Prince told his own story. He documented himself what he did, and he put it out there. So now you got a lot of people thinking that, man, Prince did all these things nobody else did. No, not true. Other people did it too. The difference was Prince was smart enough to tell his own story. And the other guys just kind of just did it. What y'all talking about in the chat room here? I got like 5 dislike. Man, a lot of people dislike this one. 5. It's a lot of dislikes so far. I guess there must have been Jay-Z and Beyonce fans that hit those thumbs down. I don't give a shit about them emotional niggas anyway. A good one. He brought up Patrice Rushen. Patrice Rushen's another one who don't get her credit. Patrice Rushen is so bad. People want to talk about some black girl magic shit. Patrice Rushen will arrange a whole orchestra for your ass. Play the piano better than your ass and I'll sing your ass. Patrice Rushen was the music director for the Grammys for a long time. Teaches music out of USC. From LA. Locke High School. Patrice Rushen. Gotta give Patrice Rushen. I would so love to interview Patrice Rushen for my show Incense and Ashtrays. She's a story that needs to be told. Somebody said that's a beehive coming after me. And let me tell y'all something when it comes down to it. Don't ever be afraid of the beehive. All right? Music is more important than Beyonce. Beyonce's not music. She's a great part of music, especially for this century. I'm not taking nothing that she did away. But her beehive fans are fucking ridiculous. And they're nobody to take serious. Just like bronsexuals, these dudes that have a love affair for LeBron James and you can't say anything or you're a hater. These ain't nobody to take serious. These ain't nobody to take serious. Don't let these losers shut y'all up. Just because you don't worship a grown-ass person, they get mad. Don't worry about them motherfuckers. What the fuck can somebody who worships another human being and falls on a sword mad and crying over what you said about somebody who wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire? What you worried about what they got to say? They ain't got shit to say to you. You got your own goddamn thoughts. Paxton said, fuck the beehive. I know you feel that way, dog. Pax never has given a fuck about going at the beehive. However, I love Anderson .Paak. I fucks with more than just Anderson .Paak, but I will say this. Anderson .Paak is my favorite of today's artists. Anderson .Paak is my favorite of today's artists. And the album he got coming out of Bruno Mars sound like it's going to be dope. But there's Adrian Young. There's his brother named Corey Henry. Corey Henry was a prodigy on the organ. His newest album is dope. Charlie Be Real. Check out for Charlie Be Real. He had an album called 11-11-11. Came out a couple years ago. I love Charlie. Adrian Young got some dope shit. Robert Glasper. I love me some Robert Glasper's music. The Internet. Steve Lacy, Thundercat. Terrace Martin. Alex Isley, Ernie's daughter. Alex Isley. She dope. Sir, I'm getting into Sir more. I'm getting into her also. Her, what's her name? Her, whatever the fuck her name is. It's some dope music out there right now. It's some really dope music out there. It just doesn't get mainstream play. Chris Dave, hell yeah. I'm a drummer, man. That shit Chris Dave do on the drums, I can't fuck with it. Shit. I am not fucking with Chris Dave on the drums. There's an album that came out back in 2000, either 17 or 18, called R plus R equals Now. It was a super group. It was Robert Glasper, Terrace Martin, Chris Dave, and the brother on the trumpet. Christian, what's his name? On the trumpet. What's his name? Let me look this up. What is it? Is R? Course, the album is called Chronologically Speaking. Christian Scott. Go and look that album up from a couple years ago. Chronologically Speaking. That was a dope ass jazz album. And when it comes to the jazz side of the game, we got Kamasi Washington. Jazz is still alive and well. The whole West Coast Get Down crew. Our music is in good shape. We just have to take the time to appreciate it, man. Stop these arguments over who was better and just talk about why you love who you like. How about that? But yeah, these awards are meaningless. They don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. These are just ways that white folks credentialize each other. That's all these fucking awards are. Rest in peace to Chick Corea. Died about a month ago. One of my favorite jazz pianists of all time. Personally. I saw Chick Corea play live. Ooh, good 15, 20 times. Basically, every time Chick Corea came to LA, when I started driving, when I got out of high school in 99, started driving in 2000. Basically, ever since I could drive in 2000, I'm going to see Chick Corea every time he's come to LA. Last time he was here, I got to sit right behind his the stage where he was performing. And got to see him pluck them piano keys. I'm going to show y'all a video. Let me see here. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all this video. Let me airdrop this shit to my computer from my phone. I'm going to show y'all this video the last time I saw Chick Corea. That's going to take a while. I'll get to that. What y'all talking about in the chat room before I get the fuck out of here? What y'all talking about? Usually I can't listen to male R&B. Well, a lot of this new male R&B I don't really fuck with. Shit's kind of weird. But I fucks with Luther Vandross and Al Green and Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder. I fucks with that. Like, Kim is pretty cool for right now, but Kim hasn't had anything. Well, I don't know what Kim has had. I don't know what Kim has had. I haven't listened to Kim in a while, but I fucks with Kim. Here it is. Got it. I'm gonna show y'all this. Let's see what y'all talking about in the chat room. Oh, hell yeah, the Manhattans. I love the Manhattans. Do 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 woo. Oh baby. Look at this. This Chick Corea. My last time seeing him live at Catalina Bar and Grill. What the fuck? Why is it playing like this? I don't know why it's over here playing slow. But yeah, this was my seat. I wish I could get a better video of it. I don't know why this video playing slow, but this is how close I was sitting to Chick Corea's piano the last time he performed here in LA at Catalina Bar and Grill back in 2019. Rest in peace, Chick Corea. He said 70s don't count. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, a lot of this newer male R&B is like kind of like, The Dramatics, one of my favorite groups of all time. Can't get over you. I've tried and I've tried. Patty Austin, man, I got a love affair with Patty Austin. She's so goddamn beautiful. I see Patty Austin. I would catch Patty Austin at the Hollywood Bowl. She would do a lot of the whenever the Hollywood Bowl would do a tribute show, they would generally have Patty Austin as one of the singers, and they did a tribute to Quincy Jones, and Patty Austin sang. Long gray hair in her 60s, still looked beautiful as hell. So yeah, I'm about to get the fuck up out of here, but that's basically what I want to talk about today. These awards are meaningless. What is music for? Music is about the message it conveys to you and how it makes you feel. No award can account for that. Especially an award from people who don't know how to create a goddamn thing musically. Jodeci was a shit. Jodeci was the last great doo-wop group. Yeah, Jodeci and Boyz II Men. They were always... Jodeci and Boyz II Men was like the Temptations versus the Four Tops. Both were great. Boyz II Men was more of a crossover group. Jodeci was more... But Jodeci just had soul. To me, Boyz II Men and Jodeci were the two last great doo-wop groups, singing groups. You notice you haven't had any doo-wop groups, any singing groups since the 2000s? Really? Don't tell me shit about Jagged Edge. No, them niggas was a knockoff Jodeci. Stop it. But yeah, Jodeci was true soul. So we got to remember, people, we have a lot to celebrate. We have too much to celebrate as a people to worry about some fucking Grammy award. Way too much to celebrate. Grammys, that's white people awarding what they like. Salute to them. Shouts out to them. Let them have it. No issues. I don't have any issues with the Grammys. The Grammys are perfect within themselves. The people who put together the Grammys, the Grammy Awards, award the people they feel best represents what they like. Fine. But that ain't got shit to do with us. Let them have it. And let us divest ourselves from what they like and what they into. That's not our concern. That's not our problem. What they like is not the end all be all. It's just that. All right? I'll be back at y'all again later on this week with some more dope content. Interviews. I got my interview with Brother Kaba Kamade coming up March 30th from the Hidden Color series. Check out my interview on Mixcloud with Bobby Rush, legendary blues guitarist. Because as a people, it's on us to tell our story. Not them. That's our job. Get your t-shirts at Breakthrough. No, Breakthrough, my other company. Ha! Got a lot of companies. At hotepish.com/apparel. Get your merchandise. And check us out tomorrow on Craig Facts. Remember this, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up game. My name is Dwan B. I'm out.